Okay, let's see if this is better. Can you guys let me know if I'm coming through more clearly? I had to start this over because you guys said the sound was breaking up. So I'm going to share it one more time. All right, let me wait for a couple of you to get on here. All right, can you hear me okay? Tell me if the transmission is better. Okay, it is better. I sat with my phone on almost ready to go live for like 10 minutes and I think it messed something up. So I restarted my app. Okay. All right, you guys, I'm glad you're here. So I just shared it again. So hopefully everybody is here and the audio's good. Yay. Now this will be recorded. So if you miss any of it, no biggie. If your team is not here, please share it with them because this is going to be something really, really tremendous that you can learn. And we have so many new people. Some of you guys may not even be familiar with what I'm going to teach you. And what I'm going to teach you about is how to do parties and make a lot of money and meet a lot of new people. And it's funny because we kind of forget that's how paparazzi started, was doing in-person parties. And so you can implement this into Facebook Live and do parties. And this was actually prompted by Annette Adams, who asked me how to do a party. And I'm thinking, why don't you know this? And so I'm thinking we haven't even taught this to you guys. And there's some of you who aren't familiar because I don't do parties very often. Just because it seems like an additional thing that's not necessary, but it will run your whole business. And I met a couple of elite girls last week who only do parties. And they're elite, you guys. And so there is more than one way to paint a fence or whatever that phrase is. There's more than one way, and I'm not going to say to skin a cat because I would never do that. All right. So if you guys have questions, please ask any questions because this is kind of a discussion. But I will teach you what I know, and this is not just made up. This is from experience, and so I know that it works. So first thing to tell you, first of all, grab something to take notes. Grab a pen and paper because this could tremendously change your business. Like this is a big, big deal, especially if you're like, what? I can do that. And when you implement it, you will shock yourself. So we're going to go back to the basics from paparazzi. And so I need to teach you some stuff. Now, when we're done, I'm going to challenge you guys with a contest, and I will post it in our group. And so I'm just going to make a little note here so I don't forget to announce the contest for our team. Now, more than just a contest, because the odds of winning against a bunch of people is a little low, it's going to drive your business. And so don't only do it for a prize, clearly. Do it so that you can improve your business. So it's like you already won anyway. But to make it more fun, I will be doing a drawing and stuff, and I'll announce that later. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about hostess rewards, okay? When you sign up for paparazzi, you get a kit, okay? And that does not include hostess rewards. Hostess rewards start on your first regular order. What hostess rewards are is free jewelry paparazzi gifts you. For every 10 pieces, you get 1 piece for free. And they don't do that just to be nice. That is called hostess rewards for a reason. So a hostess reward is a piece of jewelry that is intended to be given to a hostess. A hostess is someone who hosts a party for you. So let's go back to the caveman days where we used to do parties in person only. Like that's all we did was parties in person. And you guys are familiar. You've been to Mary Kay parties and Tupperware parties. And if you can imagine a paparazzi party, it's the same idea. And in-person, now, by the way, I'm not going to tell you to do in-person parties. If you want to, you should. But you can do this stuff online also. Or maybe you can do both, okay? But I'm going to just kind of speak to you from the past for a minute. So in the olden days when we had paparazzi parties, we would have a hostess. So this is just some lady who wants to try to get free jewelry. And she would say, hey, I want to sign up or I want to host a party for you. So we would pick a date. So if you want to write this down, the first thing you do with a hostess is you pick a date. and then you coach her. When you coach your hostess, you got to teach her how to invite people. There is a right way and a wrong way to do this. Hi, Marissa. Hi, Jessica. I didn't say hi to anybody. Magdalia, Stephanie, Francis, Kay, Mary, Marva, Vivian, Della, Gloria. And there's a bunch of other people on here too. Awesome. And Carol found us. You were not dreaming when you heard that I was going to teach a class. Okay, so number 1, you pick a date for your hostess party. Number 2, you coach her. And I will teach you about this. This call is going to be a little bit long. And then number 3, you prepare and you have the party. And I guess number 4, you want to try to book 2 parties off of every 1 party. Or 3 off of every 1, whatever you want your goal to be. Some people make it a little higher and try to book 3 parties from every party. And the reason you do this is it will snowball your business. You want it to snowball because sometimes things fall through, and this will give you a margin of error. If you only book 1 party per party, it won't grow. So we're going to go through this hostess reward thing. Now, with the hostess and setting up a party, you would tell her that you wanted her to get a bunch of people to come shop at her home. And then for every 10 pieces that sell, you'll give her a piece for free. Now, the pieces that paparazzi gives you do not have to be always called hostess rewards. In fact, I bet 99% of us just mix it among the other jewelry because we don't want them to think that it's just a limited selection of free jewelry. And we let our hostess pick the free jewelry. So there's a trick in having your hostess get a lot of sales. There's so much to this, you guys, but let me just teach you the basics. So you're going to have a hostess for your party. You're going to teach her how to invite people. You're going to prepare and have the party, and then you're going to try to book 2 more parties. And it's just a cycle over and over and over. And you need to personally make a goal of how many parties you want to have per week. It's typical to have 1 per week, but you guys are better than that. Shoot for 3 per week. And I'm not kidding you. Your business will blow itself out of the water. If you have 3 parties a week, you'll hit elite within a year. I know you will, because it has to do with exposure, and you're going to have more and more people meeting you online. You don't know how many girls have called me and said that they want to sign up for paparazzi, and I'm like, how did you hear about it? And they'll say, well, somebody on Facebook that I know had an online party and they invited me. And I'm like, and then they weren't compelled to, I don't know, they did their research and signed up under me, but they were compelled to sign up because they saw the process and they saw how simple it was for this lady to sell jewelry to them and how easy and fun it was. So having a party for people and meeting people that way is key. Nice, Carol. You were doing 8 parties a month and you signed up 6 people. See, you're doing it. Carol's living the dream. You can share more if you want to, if you have any insight for us. So that's how we used to do these parties, is we would do them in person. There's a couple of, let me teach you a little bit about the in-person, and then we'll talk about online in detail. With the in-person parties, there's a few tricks that will help you. Number 1, you need to meet people, and if you have to, throw your own party first. A lot of people will call it a launch party. And with a launch party, you invite every single person you know. And I have a funny story about that. When I signed up, I did my launch party, and I'm so dumb. I invited about 1/4 of my church friends. That's all I knew was church people. I was new in the area. And I invited 1/4 of my church friends so that I could save the other people in case I booked a party with somebody from church. Well, that was dumb. Always invite everybody. Have the biggest party you ever had. Don't ever limit yourself. That was kind of silly. So anyway, with your launch party, that will get you rolling, and then your goal will be to book parties off of that. So let's talk about booking other parties first, because most of you will start with a launch party. When you book other parties, there's a couple tricks. If it's in person, you could even do this online, actually. If it's in person, you wear 2 or 3 plastic necklaces, okay? And then what you do is, let me write this down so I don't forget to talk to you guys about it in the future. You wear 2 or 3 plastic necklaces on your body, and you explain to the people at the party that you want to book 3 future parties off of this party, and explain to them what the benefits are. Say, when you have a party, just like your friend here, she's going to get 1 free piece of jewelry for every 10 that you guys buy. It's a really good deal. Paparazzi encourages us to give away jewelry, and this will get the ball rolling, and it'll be really fun. It'll help you want to get your friend to earn free stuff. So if you're interested in doing a party, just take a necklace off of me. In fact, I think your hostess is supposed to wear them if you're in person. But say take the necklace off of her and put it on you, and then I'll know you're interested in hosting a party, and I'll talk to you about it when you check out. So that's a really discreet, easy, non-scary way to ask people to host parties and for people to say they're interested. Because I think when people say there's an opportunity to host a party, everybody wants to do it, but nobody dares to step up and actually say they want to do it. So when you do it discreet like that with the necklace trick, then I think people are more brave to do it. So that's how you would book a party in person. The other thing you can do is just ask them when they're paying you if they want to sell paparazzi. And if they tell you no, because that question is the big scary question, after they say no, then you can say, well, you should have a party then so you can get some free stuff. And they often say yes. And then one other thing to try to book a party is to get a dice and some gifts. And you number the gifts 1 through 6. And you know what? We're going to have to ask compliance about this. But we've done this in person 10,000 times. You get little gifts from like Dollar Tree and you wrap them up and you number them 1 through 6. And if they book a party, they get to roll the dice and take that gift and keep it if they book a date for a party. So we can see if compliance will let us do that online for party bookings, because party bookings are a different story. It's different from like giveaways and stuff. So we can ask them. Okay, so that will help you book a party. Now let's talk about the actual party that you book and how to prepare for it. And a lot of this is I'm going to revisit this when we talk about online stuff. So let me talk about in person for a few more minutes. When you book a party with someone, you need to have them pick a date, and you don't want to show them your full calendar and say, I can do it anytime. You want to say, okay, I have these 2 dates available. Which do you want? And you should be doing this on the internet as well. Just tell them you have 2 dates available and make them pick one of them. If you give them all the opportunity in the world, they'll never pick, or they'll be wishy-washy, or they might cancel and change it because they think you can. Oh my gosh, Marissa, you're right. Have a ton of jewelry. We'll get to that part. So after you pick the date with your hostess, you need to set up an appointment to talk to her on the phone to teach her how to invite, because people don't know how to do this right. When you're going to invite somebody to a paparazzi party in person, you need to, if you're the hostess, you're going to tell this to your hostess when you coach them. You need to tell them to invite people face to face or on the phone. They absolutely should not create a Facebook event for this party. It doesn't work. This is for in person, okay? They need to invite face to face or call on the phone. Once they tell their friend that they're having this boutique or party, and that it's easy and they get to shop and go, they don't have to stay and listen to any classes or anything, they're going to want to go. And when they say they want to go, then you send them an invitation. Whether it's a paper invitation or on Facebook, it doesn't matter. Do not send out a blanket invitation to everybody that's in your Facebook. It's rude and it's not fun. I know you guys have all been invited to stuff and you don't even know what it was because we've been trained to just ignore them. So you need to have a personal conversation with each person that you invite to the party. Your launch party needs to be that way too, by the way. So that's one thing in coaching your hostess. The other thing you can tell her is she doesn't need to spend a bunch of money on food. You should see some of the food people have made for the parties. They usually spend way too much money and it's ridiculous. And if they're desperate for free jewelry, they shouldn't be spending any money on treats. And maybe you can offer to bring a box of brownies. If they enjoy making treats, don't stop them. Just let them do whatever they enjoy doing. But coach them that they don't have to spend a bunch of money on food. Tell them also they don't have to clean their whole house. They could just use their kitchen or just their living room. You could even offer to have it at your own home or a community center if you want, because you don't want that to stop people from having a boutique or a party, which is really just the same thing. If you call it a boutique in person, more people will show up. So I would actually not call it a party if you can help it. Those are the main things in coaching. The biggest thing in coaching is how to invite people. And again, face-to-face or on the phone is number one. Okay? Internet does not cut it for these kind of parties in person. When you do your party, you're going to want to show up and start setting up your stuff. And it does not need to be fancy. You don't need to buy a ton of supplies. I have tested this and I've laid out jewelry flat on a bunch of tables and I've brought my best displays and the sales are the same. It doesn't matter. So you just work with what you enjoy, kind of like your hostess is going to do what she enjoys. And the number one key, like Marissa said, is to have a ton of jewelry. So, she can't find me. Hold on, guys, just a sec. Oh, sorry, don't go anywhere. Sorry, just a sec. I had this lady message me and ask if I was going live, and I said yes because I thought it was one of you. Okay, so anyway, that's taken care of. So when you show up to your party, just have as much jewelry as you can stand to have. I would, like I said the other day in our call, get as much jewelry, so much jewelry it hurts, because that's going to push you to work your tail off. You've got to work hard if you want this business to grow. It's fun, but it is work. It is a business. But when you work hard, it pays off, you guys, I promise. So for a long time I was doing, oh, by the way, when you show up and start setting up, have your hostess pick out her free jewelry at the beginning of the party and have her overpick. Tell her to pick 10 to 15 pieces. Because what'll happen is when she touches those pieces and thinks she's going to keep them all, she's probably going to buy them all. So I've had hostesses pick up to 20 pieces and they really almost always end up buying them all. And it's kind of cool. So what happens is when the party's over, you can count up the jewelry from her customers that was sold. You know, you keep track, you have to write it all down. And then look at it, and if it's an odd number, just round it up. So if it's like, let's say it's 43 pieces, you could say, well, you get 4 pieces for free, but if you buy enough to make it to 50, you'll get another piece free. And then she'll probably do it. They like always do it. So that's something that that will help you get your hostess to buy more stuff too. And yes, yeah, the hostess rewards are cool because you're going to get stuff you wouldn't normally buy. And you'll be surprised when you sell those because you're going to learn really fast that everybody has different tastes, just like Marissa said. And then a typical party is 1 to 2 hours. 1.5 is what my favorite was. 2 hours always seemed like it was a little bit too long. So that's how to do an in-person party, okay? Do you guys have any questions on that? Now let's talk about online, because this is where most of us are sitting. Again, you can do in-home parties too. You know, maybe you need to have a goal to do 4 in-home parties a month and 8 to 12 online parties a month. You will make so much money, you guys. It's awesome. The reason I'm teaching you about this today is because we all know how to go live and sell jewelry, but there are some of us who go live and the same people watch over and over. And I've taught you guys about branding yourself and everything, and it works, but it sometimes takes time. So don't stop working on that. But this other way to sell through parties with having a hostess will help, like I said on the description, it'll help catapult your customer base because you're going to meet a lot of new people intentionally. So, hi Mary. So this call, if you didn't hear yet, this call is about how to use your hostess rewards to your advantage and help you sell a lot of jewelry. So here's how it works with online, you guys. So we just talked about in-person boutiques or parties. Here's how you're going to twist it and work for online parties, okay? The first thing you need to do, well, first of all, you know how hostess rewards work. So you need to start advertising that you do parties. And I have not honestly, I have not seen people write this lately because we all kind of forgot that we can do parties. So make your own graphic, okay? And I would include a personal picture. So if you have a pile of your hostess rewards, like in a pile, then it will be a personalized photograph. It won't just be some Googled photo that everybody's using. So maybe take a picture of your hostess rewards, or take a picture of you wearing them all. That would be so cute. And then say something on there like, do you want free jewelry? Did you know you can host a party and earn free jewelry? Because you know there are girls out there who want free stuff. There's a bunch of people who have those drawings and stuff, and some people just want free stuff. They don't want to buy anything. And so this gives them an opportunity to participate in your business without forking out any money. They can just do some work for free. So first advertise, okay, you guys? Make some graphics and talk about having a hostess reward plan. Different words. Want free jewelry? Talk to me about hosting your own party. Do you have a ton of friends who love paparazzi? Why don't you get credit for it? Why don't you get free jewelry for advertising for me? Anything like that. So then when people ask you to do a party for them, you need to do these same things, but let's talk about the online, okay? So the first step you need to do is pick a date. When you pick a date with your hostess, do the same thing. Limit the amount of options you have for her to pick from. So give her 2 dates, or maybe give her your favorite day of the week and ask her which week she wants. I would personally recommend dinner time. It seems like most people are home by then. That way you can hit East Coast to West Coast. But you know what? Daytime is sometimes good too. If you've got kind of like a stay-at-home mom crowd, maybe they're less busy during the day. Or maybe you have a retired age group of people. So however you want to do that. But pick a date so that you can stick to it, okay? Let me read what Jeannie says. No, Jeannie. So I was saying earlier that about 99% of us mix our hostess rewards into our inventory so that your customers don't know where it came from. Sometimes the hostess rewards are a little funky, and sometimes they're the best ones. And so I think mixing them among the jewelry is best. That's my personal opinion. Yeah, totally add it to your inventory. Totally right. Sarah knows. She's been doing parties. She's an old schooler. Okay, once you pick the date, you need to have this is part of the coaching, okay? This is part of the coaching for your hostess. The coaching is the very, very most important part, so write this down. The first thing you need to tell your hostess is to create an event on her personal Facebook. Now, this can be done several ways. This is my personal favorite way, the way I'm going to teach you guys how to set these parties up, and I'll explain why as I go down this list. If you want to modify it a little, you can, but if you don't know what you're doing, just follow my instructions. Create an event. Your hostess needs to create an event on her personal Facebook. The reason we want to do this is because if she creates the event, it'll be more personal for her friends. If you make an event, they're going to be like, who's this girl? I don't know her. So have your hostess create the event. Don't create an event anywhere else because people aren't going to find her. So like if my neighbor invited me, if my neighbor invited me to do this, I would try to look up, Jean Smith paparazzi party, and I would never find her if it was under like the jewelry girl's name. So have her do it on her personal Facebook, okay? That's kind of a given. That's pretty easy. Now, step 2 in doing that is she needs to make you a hostess on that event on Facebook. And the reason for that is so that you have all the same permissions as her. That way you'll be able to go live in that event. You'll be able to message her friends if you need to. Whatever you need to do, you could change the time if you guys talk about it. So being a hostess on that event is key because that way you have the same control she has. Okay, so far so good. C, you need to teach your hostess how to invite. This is critical, okay? Do not, and you're going to have to tell her, do not, okay? Do not invite all your Facebook friends to this event. Just like I said earlier, it's going to mean nothing to them. It's going to actually be spammy and annoying. And they're going to be like, what? I haven't talked to her in 30 years. What is she inviting me for? So there's 3 ways to invite. One is, I'm taking notes so I can make a good Facebook video on this. Do not, it's called blanket inviting. Do not blanket invite people. The best way to invite is face-to-face, just like we talked about. And there is nothing wrong with inviting your next door neighbor to this party. There's nothing wrong with inviting all your church friends, all your work friends. Because sometimes when people hear internet, they're like, oh, I guess I have to invite all my high school friends on Facebook. No, that's not what we're doing. You're inviting the people that you talk to all the time. So your hostess is going to try to invite face-to-face very first. That means she can go, when she goes for a walk with her neighbor, she can invite her. When she's at the restaurant and she meets a waitress, she can invite her. When she goes to the doctor, she can tell the nurses about it. Everybody loves paparazzi, you guys. So make sure you're coaching them about who they can invite. Anybody they talk to face-to-face is number 1. And then once they invite them face-to-face, they need to get their Facebook name and invite them. Because if they tell them yes in person, then they invite them to the event. All the event is for is to show them where to go. It is not for the cold invitation, the first time for the invitation. It can be challenging if your hostess is not on Facebook. If they're not on Facebook, I wouldn't even do it personally because that sounds like a lot of work. What you could do is have them do the Facebook event with their daughter or with their best friend and let them run the show because it sounds nearly impossible to do it if they're not Facebook savvy. So yeah, that sounds difficult. So I would recommend them teaming up. And in real life, I've done double parties many times. We're like best friends do them together. So there's nothing wrong with doing that online. Might even be less scary for them too. Okay, so you invite face-to-face, number 1. If the person is receptive to the invitation, then they invite them on the actual event on Facebook. The second way to invite is a phone call. So if they want to call their mom across the country and invite them, they should. They shouldn't invite through Facebook with people they know because it is not personable enough. And this is why these parties work so well, you guys, because it's real people, it's real life, it's personal interaction. It's not Facebook randomness that isn't personable anymore. So calling them on the phone is really good. And if they're receptive to that, do the same thing. They can then invite them on the event. And then the last way to invite is a personal message on Facebook. There's a right way and a wrong way to do this. You guys have gotten those before where it's a personal message and they're like, hey girl, how's it going? I want you to go to my Tupperware party. And I'm like thinking, I don't even know you. So copying and pasting is not the answer. Writing a real message is. So for example, I have a girl that I was best friends with in elementary and we've kept in touch here and there. So if I messaged her, I have to make it personal. Instead of just saying, hey girl, I haven't talked in forever, because you could copy and paste that to anybody. I could just say, I was thinking about you. How are your kids doing? Maybe mention some actual names, like be totally real. Wait till she writes back and then say, I'm doing this thing. I'm not trying to like get everybody in the world to go to it, but I really honestly thought you'd probably like this good deal on this jewelry. And then you invite them. So, and then if they say yes, you can invite them to the event on Facebook after they say yes. And tell your hostesses high quality, low volume is better. If you can get 10 people to the party who really, really want to be there, you're golden. If you have 250 people invited and only one person chatting when it's happening, you're going to be embarrassed. And so is your hostess. So tell them that high quality, low volume is what you want for your attendees for the party. Okay? Any questions so far? So that's how you hostess coach. Now here's the rest of what's going to happen. And you can tell her this, but coaching is for the inviting. That's the biggest deal, okay? Right before, this is number 3 for preparing and having the party. If you want to, you can tease and show pictures and stuff before the actual event. And I would do this event, I would do this in the event, because at this point, everything is private, okay? Everything is for your hostess and these 20 ladies or whoever. And it's just for them. So you could go live in there and introduce yourself and tell them what's going to be going on. Have your hostess go in there live and thank them for coming, and, you know, we'll see you Thursday night at 7 or whatever. Make sure you have the time zone correct when you do the inviting so that everybody shows up at the right time. And then basically what's going to happen, and this is what you need to tell them about in the description of the event and in your introduction video. You're going to sell jewelry live in your event for 1 hour. And then after that, you're going to invite those guys to join your group and keep shopping for the amount of time you tell them. I always let them shop through Friday night because I invoice on Friday nights. Through Friday morning, and I invoice on Friday nights. And everybody's different, but you want to give them the 1 hour live, and that is what you're scheduling for in your event. And then you want to give them future shopping opportunity for a limited time. And you can post these. You can make some graphics or something. Make it very clear what the rules are so they're not confused. Tell them to try to be there in person, because like maybe you could do an on-time drawing for everybody who shows up on time. In fact, I like that idea. I'm going to write that down. Do an on-time drawing, because some of these people won't be able to be there live, but the ones who can be should be there. And so do a drawing for that, and then you can sell and remind them that everybody who shows up in person on the live will get first picks, and there's no competing with your other customers. That is a really, really big deal for most people. Hi, Evelyn, and hi, Ruth. So I'm going to write that down too. They get the first picks. When you do this party privately, all your regulars aren't going to be like the pros, and they're not going to be nabbing all the jewelry before your friends get it, or the new people get it. So it'll be really good. The other thing that's kind of cool is you're not going to need multiples. There's not going to be as much competition. They'll think it's more fun to kind of have to claim the jewelry and stuff. And so you can just show onesies and twosies and make some sets for them and just make it fun. Make it like it would be in person. Show them cute things and give them tips and ideas and make that 1 hour valuable to them. And they're going to get to shop for 1 hour. Remind them that the hostess is getting free stuff. Try to book a party from this live video, because that's your best opportunity to talk to them. Let me write that down too. You want to try to book your 2 parties. You can even give something. You could say, hey, if you book a party today, I'll give you a free piece of jewelry with your stuff. Or I'll give your hostess an extra free piece of jewelry or whatever. And we just got an email from Paparazzi a few days ago about how to make those hostess rewards sound even better. And so make sure you read that email from corporate. So try to book your party during that live. Make it interactive. You could even invite your hostess on the video with you. Now that Facebook lets you have 2 people, that would be super cool. If you do your camera horizontally, then you can be side by side. You don't have to do any complicated games, but you could ask your people that show up how they know the hostess. The most embarrassing moment, guess her age, or what's everybody eating for dinner. Do some silly stuff. Do some things that she would do with her besties, because these are all people she knows. These are like her friends. It's not just a bunch of random internet people. So you can do a lot with this because it's a lot more personable, and you're building a network with these guys through her. And so she's going to help you get to know these people, and they're going to trust you super fast. So hopefully that makes sense so far. So that's how you do your live. And then explain to them to join your group. And you could do a drawing with that too. Whoever joins my group right now will get in another drawing or something. Make sure you collect everybody's email addresses. And you're going to now have a list of all these people who were in her party, so that when they buy from your group throughout the rest of the week, you will know who they are. And you are not obligated to give hostess rewards to anyone from your regular customers, because your regular customers are still going to be shopping from you, and you don't really owe anything to anybody for that. Because the mistake some of us have made in the past is we will do our parties in our group, but then all of our groupies will be buying from that party, and it'll make your hostess rewards go way up. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. So as far as selling after the live party, let me explain that just again in case you're not set up this way. You should have a VIP group where you're selling your jewelry, and that's where all your jewelry lovers belong. If you don't have a VIP group, you need to talk to me because you should have one. I have a video about this too, and I explain it in the branding. But the VIP group is very important, VIP, because it is a place for you to communicate with your jewelry people all the time, forever. And it's like their home. So if they want to try to find you and ask you a question, that's where they know they can go. Your VIP group needs to have your real name on it first, and then whatever creative name after if you want. But it needs your real name because that's how all these new people are going to find you again. Otherwise, they're not going to know who you are. If you're like Bling Diva, there's like 20 million Bling Divas already. They need to find you by your name. And so invite them to your group when you're doing your live party. And then personally, I always have a couple albums open each week. And so I would basically be opening the opportunity to them to buy from there. And that's going to also train them how to buy from you in the future. So during your live video, when you're selling them the live jewelry, you can just explain, guys, I have more jewelry. You can shop all week. Invite some of your friends who weren't here. The hostess rewards still apply. And you guys can shop from my albums throughout the week. And then I'll invoice you on Friday, and I'll come back to this event and tell you all how much free jewelry your hostess got. Isn't that going to be so much fun? And then when you announce the free jewelry that they won or that they earned, you may even book a couple more parties because it's really appealing. They're going to be like, she got how much? She got $60 in free jewelry? Holy cow, whatever. So, but then, so what happens is when you invite them to your VIP group and the party's all said and done and you're done with your hostess, now they're in your group. That's my favorite part. Now you have all these new future customers. They're going to see you all the time. You can invite them to join your text alert for future parties. They may end up being invited off one of those bookings if they know the girls, and they're going to buy from you again through another live. They're going to see your regular live. They're just going to be future customers and future signups. And Carol knows this, right? Future recruits, you guys. So if we go back to the basics of paparazzi and start doing parties again, the world is at your fingertips, you guys. I promise you. When I started, I booked a ton of events because that helped me meet people. And then at those events, at those fairs and expos and stuff, my number one goal was to book parties. And when you have parties always happening, you've got guaranteed money. It's like a Facebook Live on steroids because you've got people planning for you. Your hostesses are coached to do a lot of the work, and they're going to help you meet all these new people that you wouldn't have met any other way. So I don't know if you guys can hear in my voice how much I love this idea. It works, I promise you. I've done online parties in this manner with having them an event for 1 hour and then having them go to my group. It's like a golden plan. It totally, absolutely works. If your VIP group has your name at the end and you switch it, let's see. You don't need to make new cards. Nope. In fact, Alicia, you can leave your link the same. The URL for your group can be the same. You can just change the wording of the name. No problem. And when people look for you, they can find you just fine. In fact, I just finally switched mine and I put Lisa Abercrombie at the beginning, and you can still totally find it. So it should be okay to switch. And I did leave my link the same and nothing happened. Everybody can still find it. Do you guys have questions? I would love to answer them. I would love some insight on this if you've already been doing parties. I think it's a wonderful way to grow your business. And like I said, we've been doing this branding stuff, and it's important to still build a brand and have them like your page and everything, because that's going to build your reputation. But doing these parties is going to help you network with new people. fast, really, really fast. And when I did parties in person, I probably had about an average of maybe 10 to 12 people at each party. We would sell an average of 40 pieces per party, and I was doing about 8 per month. So that's 320 pieces per month. But Facebook, you guys, Facebook is way better than that. I bet you it's at least double. So imagine about 700 pieces of jewelry sold per month. Can you even imagine? We will all hit elite ranks if you do that, I swear. And if you teach this to your team, people are going to hit director. This is going to happen for all of us so much quicker. It won't be a shot in the dark anymore. This is intentional sales with a plan, and it works. It totally works. Yes, Jeannie, totally. Book a party with me and be entered into a drawing. Totally. You know what I've done before? I would say, book a party with me and you can take a free piece home. And at the party, I'll let you pick out another piece for free. And that would help them keep their date. If you keep your date, you get 2 pieces. Yeah, a few people went home with a free piece and never called me again. But for the ones that did it, it was way a big payoff. So would you invoice at the end of the party and then again? No, Gloria, I would like to combine my invoice all in one. They should benefit from attending the party. So you tell them that you keep their bag for them, help them fill it up as big as they want until Friday night or whatever day you tell them. And then that way they only have to pay shipping once. Oh, you know what else? When you're booking your parties with your hostess, right here, free shipping for your hostess. That is really compelling. People love free, but you have to set a minimum. I would say free shipping for the hostess if you sell 20 pieces or more at your party, or make some kind of rule, because you don't want them to just get free stuff for doing nothing and not inviting people. But free shipping for your hostess is a really nice turn on for them to book a party. Have I been doing parties? Susan, since I've been doing Facebook Live, I've done about 5 Facebook Live parties in the last year. So that's not very many, but they work. Now, the reason I haven't is my Facebook Lives work great. So I don't feel like I need this extra sales, but I bet most of you guys do need extra sales. Because I've been doing my branding for years and years. And so I've kind of built that up. And so if you need to build up your network in another way or quicker, then parties is almost better than branding. There's nothing wrong with doing both, but the parties will build your business quicker. And I feel kind of dumb because I forgot that this was the thing, because I'm always trying to figure out a step-by-step way to teach everybody. And because the branding thing worked so well for me, I thought that was the way to go. And it still works, but the parties will be quicker. And Francis, you just booked an online party, so now you're ready to coach your hostess. That is so cool. And yeah, I think I'm going to push these a little more. I think I'm going to try for 1 a week right now. They're easy though. 1 hour, you guys, 1 hour to get a new whole group of people. 1 hour of live, and I would say maybe a half hour to coach your hostess. Oh, and of course, right before you're live, you want to remind everybody, like 5 to 10 minutes before. 5 minutes before, you want to remind your people. And I would have your girl send a text to everybody. When we did the in-person parties, we would have the hostess text everybody the day before. Don't forget my party tomorrow. So it's the same thing. Don't forget my party in 10 minutes. Do you do your private parties inside your business page or VIP page? Regina, this is what I said earlier. Your hostess is going to create the event on her personal Facebook. It won't even be on yours. It'll be on hers. And then she can add you as a hostess so that you have the same capabilities as her. But your hostess is going to own the party because it will be all her friends. When you do Facebook parties, do you share to your VIP group? No, I would not recommend that because you want to keep the party private amongst her friends and let her benefit from her work, and there won't be competition with all your customers. It'll be, private's better. I really think private is better. When you make the event, where should you make it? Okay, yeah, so I know this is new to you guys. Make it from your hostess's personal page. She'll make it. If they don't say going, does that mean they won't see you live in the event? I don't know the answer to that, Alicia. I don't know. That's something we'll have to test. Isn't this interesting? See, I feel like half of you guys don't even know these exist. Online parties could, like I said, they could make your business blow itself out of the water. Past tons of people. There are girls in Elite who hit it like in 9 months. We can all do this. This is all 100% possible. And having hostesses, especially you guys, since people know what paparazzi is, you know, what if you made a cute little picture of you standing there with covered in jewelry and said something like, guys, we forgot we could have hostesses for our parties. Who wants to benefit from inviting your friends? Or who wants free jewelry just for playing online for an hour? Whatever you want to do to try to entice them. Okay, if you're just getting on here, listen. This is a good call. I'm going to hang up in a second and it will be recorded so you can re-listen to everything. It's something you'll want to take notes and do. So now, yeah, do take notes for sure. You did online parties when you sold Party Light? Oh my gosh, Crystal, you rock. I didn't know that. Last time you tried a Facebook party, I didn't know what I was doing. I know. Now you know. Now you know that you go live for 1 hour privately and invite them to your group for future sales. It is seriously simple. Oh, they do get alerts, Francis, even if they don't say yes. Okay, thank you. So maybe if they say no, they don't, but that's about it. They have to decline. Okay, she knows the answer. Yay. In fact, I'm going to write that on my notes. I'll put, they will get alerts until they decline. The other thing that's cool about doing the album sales after the live, like I said, not everybody can be there live, or they might forget or something. So that way they can still, people are compelled to help other people. They really are. So if some girl has a party at your church and you want to support them, you're going to figure out how to help them even if you missed it. So if they know they can go in and still buy for the next 3 days or whatever, they will. They will get alerts until they decline. Okay. Any other questions? Do you have steps on how to tell them how to set up the event? No, you might have to make a video. Let me make a note here. Facebook event video. No, don't wait around for me. You might have to look up on YouTube how to make a personal event on Facebook. That's cool. Any other questions? Making an event is quite simple, actually. What you'll want to do is once you get used to this, you'll have like a copy and paste. See, all she has to do really is make the event and make you a hostess, and then you can go in and change the description and put on a cover photo and do all that stuff. Because at that point, she won't have invited anybody because she's got to talk to all these people in person first. So you can hurry and go in and change all that stuff. Who's excited? Who's excited to do this? I'm like watching you guys. I'm waiting to see you guys kick butt in your sales. I bet you your businesses grow faster than you thought. If you set a goal to set your goals high, set a goal for 8 parties a month. Definitely message me, Vivian. I know you guys want this. I want this so bad. After going to the Elite training, there were lots of girls with other people there, and I had Dawn, but she'd already gone last year. So we were out trying to meet other people, but I was very jealous of the girls who had all these teams there. I just want you guys there with me. So I really think this is going to help. I know, Vivian, isn't it weird? We forgot parties existed. I don't know why. So I don't know. I think I was inspired to teach this. They didn't really talk about parties at Elite, but I was trying to watch and see what people were doing. And the girls that ranked really fast in paparazzi 6 years ago, they did party after party after party after party. There is something there. So Facebook Live is the secret, you guys, but party structure is the secret to getting new customers. Jeannie, message me if you want. Message your sponsor or me, and we can help you see if they're achievable and if you have the steps to get there. Any of you guys can message me. I totally don't care. I want to help everybody as much as possible. So for our booking blitz, can you guys hear the jets? For the booking blitz contest, what we're going to do is we're going to see how many parties you can book in the next 24 hours. And what time is it? 5:07 p.m. Okay, so you have until 5 p.m. tomorrow, which is Thursday. Let's do 6 p.m. because I'm going to make a graphic. So we'll give you guys 24 hours. 6 p.m. tomorrow Mountain Time to book as many parties as you can with a date. You don't have to have it on the event created or anything, but you have to have a booking with a date and a hostess. You can count your own. You can count a launch party if you do one in person. That will count. A launch party of your own doesn't count because you guys already do Facebook Live. But if you do a private party booking or an in-person party booking or a launch party in-person booking, they all count. We're going to comment how many we get. This is on your honor system. It'll be a good prize. You guys, if you didn't see, I bought some Coach, what are they called? Wristlets. Some Coach wristlets. Depending on how awesome you guys are, I'm going to give away at least one of these. And I have 7, though. We're going to see how awesome you are. If everybody participates and everybody books 10 parties, I might give them all away. I have no idea. I might only give away 1 if the same girls do it, because I know who's going to work with this. And I hope that I see a big, big group of girls succeeding. All right, let me look at this and see if there's more questions. Gloria, I'm so glad you messaged me today. Okay, I'm so glad. Yes, McDally, you can, totally. So parties are the same as lives with different customers. They are, except when they're private, it has a whole different feel because your hostess does all the work. She does all the inviting, and it's her groupies. It's her people. So you're going to meet all these new people who don't know you, and they're going to get to know you during that hour, and then they become your new customers. So they kind of are the same. I'm so glad, Vivian. You have an event all weekend. Work it. That's right. Oh, so just so you guys know, all your future everythings, every time you go live, every time you need to do an event in person, every time you do a party on a private event, all of these things, your goal is to book parties. Always, always book parties. You can always invite people to your group, yes, but make a goal to book parties. Try to book 2 parties every party that you have, or try to get a list of people who might want to have parties in the future that you can contact when you need them. In person and Facebook, maybe. It's both. All right, I do have a hostess coaching booklet for an online party. I'll go through that again and I'll post it. I got to change it a little because we now have Facebook Live. I will try to do that right now, actually, because that is important. And the hostess coaching booklet's cute and fun, and it will make it more exciting for your hostess. Okay, any other questions? I think I'm going to hang up so you guys can listen to this. Good luck. Good luck on your booking blitz. I will make a post before the hour is over so that it's clear what the instructions are on the contest. And I hope you all make a ton of money. I hope you do. All right. Have a great night, you guys. Bye.